I am really very much honored for having given this opportunity of opening this great music festival.
In August 1969, the quiet hills of Bethel, New York, exploded into color, sound, and pure chaos. Woodstock became the living pulse of a restless generation, and every beat still rattles dishes in nearby farmhouses. But wait, hidden rolls of film have slept in dusty shoe boxes for more than 5 decades, holding scenes no magazine ever printed. These pictures unlock forgotten drama, raw emotion, and tender slices of daily life that change every polished tale we thought we understood. Number 1. The Peaceful Voice. The first secret frame freezes SRI Swami Satchidananda stepping forward in bright orange robes, his smile glowing like sunrise. He lifts his hands, greets brothers and sisters, and 500,000 strangers fall silent, hearts pounding in one rhythm. He speaks of ending war's endless hurt, and declares that music carries a healing power stronger than any weapon. Thunderous cheers rise, dust swirls under bare feet, and you can almost feel the meadow breathing together beneath his calm command. But what image comes next is even more daring. Number 2, Lost in the Book. A lone reader sits high on a thin lighting scaffold, legs swinging over a sea of heads, pages fluttering in the humid breeze. No harness, no guardrail, only balance and bold curiosity keep him alive. Festival rumbles thunder below, electric guitars, distant cheers. Yet he is lost in deep fiction, proving that stories can lift a mind higher than any stage tower. One wrong shift and he would tumble into human ocean, but his focus never breaks. The next reveal squeezes your lungs. Number 3, No Room to Breathe. Another hidden shot shows bodies jammed shoulder to shoulder, skin shining under August sun. Turn the farm into a living wave. People squeeze, shuffle, stand on toes, and even climb speaker towers just to catch a glimpse of the stage. You move an inch and someone steals that ground, laughing as they plant themselves like a flag. Yet inside the crush, strangers traded sandwiches past canteens and swapped songs, proving connection blooms even when space vanishes. But hold on, Woodstock's population shock is only getting bigger. Number 4, Full House Farm. Organizers prayed for 200,000 guests, designed parking lots, planned food stands, and rented portable toilets for that number. Then, without warning, 500,000 souls arrived, covering every inch of grass like moving tie-dye. A dairy farm meant for cows suddenly thumped like a neon city. Food supplies vanished by the second sunrise. Fences toppled, and ticket booths turned useless because the line dissolved into one massive, ticketless wave. But nature was ready to test that kingdom in the wettest way. Number 5, Rain Rebels. Dark clouds swallowed the sun, and within minutes a violent storm hammered the crowd. Rainwater turned pathways into rivers, mud swallowed shoes, and guitar amps fizzed under slick plastic sheets. Some scrambled for abandoned tents, but thousands raised their arms, yelled at the sky, and danced like children let out for recess. Drummers pounded overturned buckets. Singers belted lyrics in the wind, and the downpour morphed into a watery rhythm, inspiring a reporter to call it the happiest flood of his life. But messy weather was not the only thing piling up. Number 6, Music on Mountains of Trash. Photographers caught hillsides drenched in paper cups, food wrappers, and sleeping bag scraps. Bins overflowed within hours, turning cleanup into a hopeless dream. Many fans perched on rubbish piles to see the stage, waving peace signs from their smelly thrones and laughing at the absurdity. The Village Voice later wrote about piles of garbage up and down the hillside. Still rotting a month later, sanitation crews arrived with shovels and rakes, but soon gave up, overwhelmed by the avalanche of refuse. Number 7, 3-day traffic trap. Stalled cars stretched for 20 miles, engines choking, while dashboard radios crackled Jimi Hendrix solos into stifling August air. Drivers abandoned vehicles, grabbed blankets, and walked hours along the highway, turning asphalt into a moving parade of flower crowns and guitar cases. Parents worried on landlines miles away. Police waved helplessly, and news choppers hovered above just to capture the unbelievable sprawl of humanity. Local dairies couldn't deliver milk. Medical teams squeezed between bumpers. And yet the human river kept flowing toward the promise of sound. Inside the grounds, a quieter legend stepped forward. Number 8, Tim Hardin's moment. Tim Hardin trembled backstage, yet gripped his worn acoustic and stepped into the open. With a breath he sang, "If I Were a Carpenter," and 500,000 voices hushed like someone flipped a giant mute switch. His gentle melody cut through the roar like a soft blade through thick rope, bonding the crowd in tender silence. For that single set, he earned $2,000, a tidy fortune then, but the real treasure was the warm hush that wrapped around every note. But behind every show, one man's open gate made all the difference. Number 9, the quiet hero. Max Yaska, a sturdy farmer with a welcoming grin, risked his neighbor's wrath by renting his land after Wallkill banned the festival. He ignored angry letters, refused tempting buyout offers, and believed music could bridge divides wider than any pasture. A treasured frame shows him shaking muddy hands with young strangers, barn roof behind him, eyes sparkling with pride. Without Yaska's courage, Woodstock might have vanished beneath city bylaws, but his open field became a sanctuary of sound. Now brace yourself. The next band cracked the sky open. Number 10, Shockwave of Sly and the Family Stone. At 3 a.m, the field vibrated with anticipation. Then Sly Stone shouted "Stand," and the whole farm erupted. The group's kaleidoscope lineup erased lines between race and gender, proving funk lives in anyone brave enough to groove. Horns blared, drums thundered, and every foot jumped from the mud at once, sending dirty water splashing like fireworks. Number 11, Skyward Fun. Tired of mere crowd surfing, a pack of thrill seekers grabbed a tarp, stretched it tight, and turned it into an instant trampoline. One daredevil woman sprinted, vaulted into the sky, and screamed with joy as she seemed to fly above flickering campfires, landing with a soft bounce back into cheering arms. Each launch pumped more laughter into humid night, and a flashbulb froze her mid-flight, showing Woodstock's imagination had zero ceiling. Yet even gravity-defying games could not solve the car crisis waiting outside. Number 12, Cars Abandoned, Dreams Ahead. Photos line the highway with lonely vehicles, doors wide, keys still dangling in ignitions. Their owners marched through cornfields barefoot, following distant drum beats like moths chasing flame. Some carried sleeping babies wrapped in quilts. Others hauled heavy coolers. Everyone moved with a single goal: reach the music before the next guitar solo. Police would tow cars for days, but those travelers swore every blister earned on foot was worth it, because they stepped straight into history. Number 13, Hosepipe Showers. Imagine stumbling across a muddy field and spotting a snaking garden hose spraying ice-cold water into the air. Festival fans crowd around, laughing at the chill while scrubbing away layers of dust and sweat. Number 14, Climbing the Sound Towers. Towering steel frames were built to lift heavy speakers high above the grass. Nobody planned for 500,000 guests. Yet when space vanished, daring climbers scrambled up the metal lattice and perched on crossbeams like birds on a wire. From that dizzy height, they watched the endless sea of color below and waved at cheering friends. What began as a technical structure morphed into sky-high bleachers. Every guitar solo echoed through those beams, and every flashbulb captured silhouettes against a hazy horizon. The towers became symbols of quick thinking and fearless improvisation, reminding everyone that good ideas often rise from chaos. Number 15, Love in the Middle of Mayhem. Music thundered, banners rippled, and feet stomped in swirling dust. Yet one couple locked eyes and slipped into their own quiet rhythm. They hugged, swayed, and pressed foreheads together while thunderous drums rattled the ground around them. Their gentle smiles said more than any lyric ever could. Tiny moments like this made Woodstock timeless. Even surrounded by roaring crowds, these sweethearts carved out a pocket of tenderness that warmed the hearts of everyone who noticed. Love glowed brighter because it bloomed where nobody expected calm. Number 16, Helpers Among the Haze. Not every memory at the festival was music and laughter. Heat, exhaustion, and bad choices sent people tumbling to the grass, yet kindness never hesitated. 2 determined women rushed from blanket to blanket with water, gentle words, and quick first aid as panicked onlookers backed away. Tragedy did strike, claiming the lives of 17-year-old Raymond Mizak and 18-year-old Richard Beeler. But births also happened, proving life's unpredictable rhythm. Those helpers, along with volunteer medics, stitch humanity into the long story of Woodstock. Compassion rang as loudly as any amplifier. Number 17, emergency by helicopter. 500,000 bodies equals countless scraped knees and blistered feet. Supply trucks were gridlocked, so Creative Festival staff cleaned wounds with vodka when antiseptic ran out. Stinging, yes, but it beat infection. Finally, whirring blades split the humid sky as military choppers dipped low and dropped crates of bandages, gauze, and medicine. Applause erupted, and relief washed over tired nurses and groggy patients alike. That airborne delivery turned a potential disaster into another tale of triumph. Number 18, beating the heat. August sun hammered the fields, turning every inch of exposed skin fiery red. Shade was priceless, so resourceful groups rigged tarps between vans, crawled under truck beds, or sprawled beneath tangled tree branches. Every patch of darkness felt like a secret oasis. Some brave souls even converted vans into miniature homes, mattresses pushed against metal walls and guitar cases doubling as tables. Sweat dripped nonstop, yet smiles never faded because everyone shared the same blazing challenge together. Survival itself became part of the fun. Number 19, calling home the old school way. No smartphones buzzed in pockets, and social feeds did not exist. Instead, long lines stretched in front of battered payphones. Coins clinked into slots, and hurried voices shouted updates over crackly connections. Reporters clicked away on film cameras, praying each shot would develop correctly later. Every ring, every flash, reminded the crowd that memories could vanish unless preserved with patience. Those analog pauses forced people to live in the moment before passing news along, giving every conversation extra weight and warmth. Number 20, Joe Cocker's stormy finale. On the last afternoon, Joe Cocker growled through soulful verses while dark clouds brewed above the hills. The minute his set ended, thunder cracked, lightning flashed, and rain poured down like buckets from the sky. Fans screamed with delight, dancing barefoot in rising puddles. Cocker pocketed $1,300 for that unforgettable performance. Serious money at the time, but the real reward was owning the last calm heartbeat before nature unleashed a wild encore of its own. Number 21, Palms, Tarot, and Treetop Secrets. Beneath a quiet oak, a mystic spread colorful tarot cards across a thick trunk and gently traced the lines on a wide-eyed seeker's hand. Drums rattled in the distance, yet their small circle felt suspended in peaceful hush. A bright grin lit the listener's face as whispered hopes echoed like lullabies. That single reading captured the spiritual curiosity pulsing through the crowd, where music met magic without missing a beat. Number 22, Surprises in a Cup. Many traveled to hear guitars, not to chase hallucinations, yet some free drinks carried hidden chemicals. According to the Times Herald record, shady vendors slipped mind-altering powders into lemonade jugs, and unsuspecting guests gulped down sudden journeys they never asked for. Confused wanderers clutched tree trunks while rainbow flashes danced behind their eyelids. This darker twist reminds us that trust can fray when thrill seekers and opportunists collide, adding a sober warning to the legend. Number 23, stomachs growling everywhere. Food stalls underestimated the tidal wave of hungry stomachs, and shut doors once supplies vanished. Many visitors arrived with only snacks, jerky, crackers, maybe a single orange juice, then discovered empty shelves. Enter the Hog Farm Collective, a cheerful volunteer group, stirring huge pots of granola and vegetable stew. They ladled hope into tin cups, turning scarcity into community, and every grateful grin proved that generosity tastes better than any gourmet dish. Number 24, Graveyard Nap Time. When every inch of pasture filled with sleeping bags, a few exhausted dreamers wandered past the festival gates and spotted cool grass between old tombstones. They curled up beside weathered headstones, whispering apologies to long-gone souls before slipping into uneasy sleep. That eerie choice added one more layer of lore to the event. Even decades later, the thought of music lovers dozing in moonlit burial grounds sends a shiver of wonder down the spine. Woodstock always found another surprise hiding just beyond the lights. Number 25, Last Glance Before the Highway. The final chords faded and the sun dipped low. Yet one weary traveler dragged his feet toward the exit, eyes clouded with dread. For wild days of music and muddy joy had rewired his heartbeat, and the idea of work on Monday felt like a bucket of ice water. Still, hidden under that pout was a secret dream of a long, hot shower, fresh sheets, and the sweet hush of his own room. This single face captured the tug-of-war between freedom and routine that swept through the crowd like one last emotional wave. Number 26. Health hazards hit hard. Behind the bright lights, Woodstock's tiny medical crew battled numbers that kept climbing by the hour. Staff logged 23 epileptic seizures, 57 cases of heat collapse, 176 asthma flare-ups, and almost 800 terrifying drug trips. Barefoot wanderers sliced feet on broken bottles and splintered boards, turning the aid tent into a revolving door. Given the jammed roads, thin supplies, and sticky August heat, it feels almost miraculous that things were not worse. Number 27, Beetle bunk bed. A sudden downpour pounded fields into chocolate pudding. Yet one clever reveler ducked inside the open trunk of his vintage Volkswagen Beetle and stretched out like a king. With rain thumping the car roof and flashlights darting outside, he enjoyed a dry nap while thousands slogged through ankle-deep sludge. His pop-up bedroom proved that quick thinking could beat bad weather every time. Number 28, bus with the best view. High on a grassy rise, a painted bus glimmered in tie-dye swirls, and a cluster of barefoot dreamers perched on its roof, arms outstretched to the sky. From that height, they soaked in the roar of guitars and could see the crowd flow like a living river. Their private perch showed how imagination turns old machinery into a front-row throne. Number 29, the long goodbye traffic jam. When the final song ended, 50,000 cars tried to leave at once, clogging every dirt road for miles. Taillights burned red, engines overheated, and tempers sputtered while drivers crawled forward inch by inch. Stranded locals stared from porches, unable to dash to stores or work because the entire town was locked in by rolling steel. This silent struggle revealed a cost rarely pictured in glossy magazines. A community boxed by history, being made right outside its windows. Number 30, monument to a moment. Years later, builders raised the Bethel Wood Center for the Arts on that same green hillside, turning a muddy memory into a polished campus. The site now honors a peace and love wave that swept the late 1960s and reminds visitors that music can spark bigger changes than any speech. Every concert there echoes back to the summer when 500,000 dreamers met under open sky. If this trip through hidden history lit a fire in your heart, the next video waiting on your screen will blow your mind with even more unseen